Hello, welcome to the Midnight Company. So it's January and we set our New Year's resolutions, and the top of both of our lists was getting in shape. So what better way to start the year than doing a top 5 fitness and diet horror movie video?
That's right, we're all about getting in shape and fit this new year, 2020. We're seeing clear in 2020. Hindsight is 2020, back in 2019. That's right, we're all about getting fit in 2020. Emma, what's number 5 on our list?
Number 5 on our list is The Stuff, written and directed by Larry Cohen. This movie is about some railroad workers who discover some white stuff oozing up from the ground. For some reason they decide to put it in their mouths, and it's delicious.
I'll be damned. Whatever that could be, mighty good.
We fast forward and we see it has become a dessert / diet product hit all around the US, and other companies want to get in on that action, but the recipe is not available. No one can figure out what it is. So they hire an industrial saboteur, which is basically just a private detective who fucks with other companies for money. This guy goes on a quest with a small child who refuses to eat it to figure out what it is and why people are addicted.
Everybody has to eat shaving cream once in a while.
This stuff sort of looks like maybe fluff or somewhere between ice cream yogurt. It's white and it looks delicious when you look at it, though I heard that they actually use some sort of fish bones or something in the movie. So I read somewhere that they actually when the actors were covered in it, it smelled so bad they ran and jumped in the lake that was nearby to get it off them as soon as possible. But it actually turns out that this delicious dessert is a parasite that gets in your brain and can control your thoughts. I think this is basically Larry Cohen's commentary on American junk food addiction and consumerism and corporate greed. I think there's also something to say about the way that they're doing these commercials, this very 80s consumerism, then the way that America sells products to consumers in general.
It's called The Stuff. And believe me, enough is never enough.
The Stuff actually is kind of like a political movie. It's really cool, it's really fun, it holds up pretty well, the cinematography looks great, and I would say check it out.
Aerobics. Ein Film, der sie näher zusammenrücken lässt.
Number 4 on our list is Killer Workout, aka Aerobicide.
So Killer Workout starts off with this supermodel named Valerie Johnson who gets a call that she's going to be on the cover of Cosmo and she needs to get a tan. So she goes to a tanning bed immediately and there's a freak accident and she burns to death. Then we fast forward to Rhonda's workout, owned by her twin sister, Rhonda Johnson, who we always see wearing full sleeves and she's completely covered even though everybody else in this gym is completely naked.
Yeah.
The killer in this movie actually starts killing people with a giant safety pin.
Weird choice. I don't get it. What's the symbology behind the safety pin? I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, I'm sure it would hurt.
It looks so, it's so puny. It's just roll the B-roll of it. Show them. Show the people.
Show those people.
lots of footage of people working out in this film. This movie is 50%, literally 50% people just working out.
Predominantly, it's like aerobic shots, like of women, the same women over and over again doing like aerobic choreography, and the shots are very gratuitous, very tits and ass.
The whole movie is completely gratuitous.
The director's brother is one of the stars of the movie, and I believe he's a stuntman. I actually think all of the male actors in this movie are stuntmen. And it's kind of like They Live, with just really prolonged fight scenes just because they can do it.
Next time, I'm gonna finish it.
It also has its own theme song called Aerobicide. So this movie is weird kills with gym equipment and safety pins, like long takes of women's, like seriously almost they're like assholes and vaginas.
Oh,
like,
it's like so spread gratuitous. Open, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing to the imagination.
Did you weigh yourself?
297.
Billy, you were 297 last week.
Well, it takes some time for these diets to work.
Number 3 on our list is Thinner, directed by Tom Holland, of course, the director of Fright Night and the original Child's Play. The film is about a man named Billy he's very overweight, and his wife is always on him about losing weight. They're driving home from a party one night, and she's sucking his dick in the car. And
while like being like, what is better than food? Like she is like really trying to get her husband to lose weight.
He's of course distracted, and there's a gypsy woman who runs out in front of the car, and they just flatten her. They just completely run her over and kill her. It goes to this sort of like pre-trial thing, and the judge and the town sheriff both get Billy off, even though Billy was completely responsible for this accident. The old gypsy man goes up to Billy, and he goes, "Thinner. Thinner. Thinner.
Thinner." He begins losing weight and losing weight and losing weight. And during this, he's also becoming very paranoid of everything around him.
He starts to suspect his wife is cheating on him with the town doctor. And at a certain point, Billy leaves to go find these gypsy people to get the curse removed from him. I actually really like this movie. It's a lot of fun to me, and I remember when I was a wee lad seeing the very end of this movie at a dollar theater. I was seeing Toy Story while my mom was seeing Thinner, and my movie got over before hers, so I went into the theater to see Thinner, and it's that scene where Billy wakes up in his bed next to his wife, and I remember that freaking me the hell out.
Strawberry pie.
I have sort of an interesting story about it too. It's actually was shot in like really close to my hometown, and my aunt has like a very small cameo scene, so my entire family went to see this in theaters. And I was way too young to be seeing this, but I went with them because she was in it, so I saw it when I was way too young as well.
Ultimately, I really enjoyed this movie. I love a good 90s horror movie.
It'll make you think twice before eating food and getting blowjobs.
Also, don't eat the pie.
Don't eat the pie.
Did you try it?
Number 2 on our list is one of my favorite films I've seen in a long time. It's called Body Melt.
Body Melt. Pray they don't visit your street.
It's about this cul-de-sac of homes, and everybody on this little neighborhood gets these free trials of like vitamins in the mail. Little do they know before they take them that they're actually being experimented on by this evil corporation that is trying to make the perfect body.
Come and find out what it's all about at Vimuville.
And it's like a experimental drug that ends up causing like complete breakdowns of bodies.
There's so much gratuitous graphic gore. You just can't not have a good time watching this movie. If you're into that sort of thing, this is for gorehounds.
So this film was created by Philip Brody and Rod Bishop, who were actually part of this Australian like punk art collective Let's put it right here because I actually don't know how to say it because it's a bunch of symbols. You know, there were these like punk artist band dudes who were like, we want to make a weird anthology film. I can't do an Australian accent.
Hi, mate. Welcome to Outback.
Yeah, that.
Steakhouse, where we got the cheese fries.
Oh, I love cheese fries.
Cheese fries. I would say it's got something for everyone in this film.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think they were inspired by like Peter Jackson. So if you've seen Dead Alive and you like that gore, this is like that, but instead of blood, just think of like tons of slime and mucus and bleh.
Done any good drugs lately?
Number 1 on our list of New Year's New Me films, Death Spa.
Death Spa. Welcome to the health club where you'll sweat blood.
Death Spa. Oh my gosh. What a fucking movie.
This is by far the most fun one we watched, the best one we watched,
It's
I think.
so bonkers. And the first thing I really want to talk about is how much I love the poster for the movie. Like, when I saw the poster, I was like so excited to watch this just because it's so cool. So basically, this movie is about the Star Body Health Spa, which is like this
cutting edge.
Yeah, cutting edge, like all of the machines in this gym. The entire gym is run from a computer system. It's got that like late 80s colorful neon vibe to it.
Michael is the main character, and he is the owner of the gym. His brother-in-law runs the sort of Skynet central computer.
Yeah, he invented it.
And so we don't really know who's the killer at first, but Michael's wife, I think it's about a year prior, she like just lights herself on fire.
Yeah, she basically, she had gotten pregnant and lost the child, but in some way also during that damaged her spine.
Yeah.
And it put her in a wheelchair, and she got bitter and crazy and just bitch set herself on fire.
Yeah.
Real gnarly.
So for a lot of the movie, we're kind of teased by the filmmakers whether or not, you know, is it her ghost coming back and haunting this computer? And we're kind of left wondering if it's the wife come back as a ghost.
Or her brother getting revenge.
Yeah, it's all kind of ambiguous.
I get the sense that this film was sort of like a DIY vibe to it, like just a bunch of people got together to make like a slasher film.
I think it's also worth noting that American Horror Story 1984 probably borrowed a lot of imagery from not only this film but also Aerobicide.
Oh yeah, it's like there was at one point when we were watching Aerobicide where I was like, oh, I've seen this movie before, and there was like, wait, no, I haven't, but 1984 did it shot for shot so well that I actually felt like I'd seen that movie before. Worth mentioning, but Ken Foray has like a small part in Death Spa. And it's kind of strange because it's like you think you have an actor like that, you're going to utilize them better.
He's the leading man in like one of the greatest horror films of all time. And he's like just this like little supporting character in this movie.
I think this was a really fun movie. I love seeing like these aerobic death, like, you know, death by fitness equipment. It's a little convoluted. It felt a little long. It was a blast to watch. Like, it was really silly, and it definitely put me in the mood to go to the gym.
Death Spa, an exercise in terror.
So overall, these are a bunch of really silly movies. They don't take themselves seriously. You shouldn't take them seriously, but I think it's a fun way to get into the mood to start your New Year's routines if that's what you're looking to do, or if you just want to watch some fun workout movies.
I, for one, am ready to go pump off as hard as I can at the gym. You ready? Yeah, you know, pumping off like pumping iron. I pump off all the time, babe. See you next time on The Midnight Company.